That's a flavour there of what some of the voters are feeling. Let's go to Lancaster in Pennsylvania live now and talk to Berwood Yost, Director of the Centre for Opinion Research and the Floyd Institute for Public Policy at Franklin and Marshall College. Good morning, good to see you. Can you start by explaining a little bit more to us, firstly, why Pennsylvania is so important?
Well, every 2 years, a third of the Senate is up for re-election in the United States. And many of those seats are not terribly competitive. In this election cycle, there are 4 Senate races that are thought to be toss-ups. And as you know, well, the United States Senate is evenly divided between Democrats and Republicans, with the Democrats currently in control. So the outcome of these 4 elections are going to go a long way towards telling us who controls the Senate next year. And of course, we've got Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia as the 4 states that are considered toss-up states. 3 of those states have Democratic senators who hold office, and they're trying to defend those states. Pennsylvania is the one state where there's an open seat, and it's a formerly held Republican seat. And so this gives Democrats an opportunity to pick up a seat, perhaps insulating them if they lose somewhere else. And it also then gives Republicans an opportunity to regain that majority that they're looking to hold. And the Senate's really important because the United States House of Representatives is closely divided and currently in the hands of the Democrats, but everyone expects that will flip to the Republicans. So really, we're looking at the Senate as the one place where Democrats may be able to hold on after this year's election.
So, Bo, today it's all about picking candidates that reflect the parties. Are you seeing a change in what people are looking for in those candidates?
It's interesting because it really seems like the voters in these parties are looking outside of mainstream candidates and people with strong internal party ties in these races. John Fetterman is not necessarily on the Democratic side, the candidate that would be favored by many of the party insiders. And I think that's probably true on the Republican side. In terms of the Senate races, Kathy Barnett seems to be surging ahead in the Senate race for the Republican nomination. Doug Mastriano for governor on the Republican side is also not a traditional party insider. So I think what we're seeing in this particular election cycle is that the voters are restive and they're looking to try to find some candidates who represent them. I think the parties are increasingly looking outside of their mainstream to represent them, and that's what we're seeing this year. Now, in terms of issues, we're really looking at the economy and inflation as being the major drivers of concern this year. Now, that's going to play out more significantly, I think, in the general election. Right now, I think voters are looking for people who represent them ideologically. Certainly on the Republican side, they're trying to find people who represent their conservative perspectives. I think that's one of the problems that Dr. Oz is having, as your clip mentioned. People aren't sure that he's truly conservative enough to represent them on the Democratic side. So at this stage, I think we're looking at ideological matching, people trying to find someone who supports their positions ideologically. And in the fall, though, we're going to see a lot of reliance on how voters feel about the economy and inflation.
It is going to be a really interesting result, though, from these elections in Pennsylvania. I am looking forward to seeing what happens. Berwood, thank you very much for joining us.